heard good things about him, but not from his community. I think that's the curse of a young community. I don't think you can control them very much. There's very little you can do. Honestly, their parents need to do, and it's like, it's not your fault. It's the parents' fault. If some kid is stream sniping you and like gets hurt, it's that kid and that parent's fault. They're their guardian. They're responsible for them, not you. At that point, right? As long as you're not directly encouraging it, like I wouldn't, you know. That's always what happens when you have a young audience. I mean, I feel like this, we were talking about it yesterday, but like in VTubing, when I've seen people get like harassed by like fans of certain fandoms or whatever, it's almost always, it's not like the whole fandom, it's always the younger people, plus a few like deranged adults, but you know, it's almost always that. And then when an audience kind of like runs younger on average, those are the ones that tend to be like, they end up getting known for like harassing people or whatever. It's not like that those whole communities are always like that, but the younger people within it cannot control themselves and the streamers cannot control them. So you just kind of like end up with that. It's the same thing. It was always like that with Homestuck. It was like this with Undertale fans, all the people being like, I love mouthwashing so much. Oh, I love FNAF, right? These communities get like really crazy sometimes. The Genshin fandom, you know, people get death threats over like just being like, I don't like this new outfit, you know? Someone will say something on Twitter and they start getting like crazy levels of harassment from like Genshin fans. It's not every Genshin fan, it's the young ones typically. Yeah, K-pop stands, all the older ones, very sane, very normal, very nice. And then like the younger ones give it a bad rap. It gets tough. Or yeah, you used to kind of like with furries, they're a nice punch, but the young ones can be very frustrating and unbearable. Right. I just think it's the curse of like a younger community on the internet. You know, it's so much harder to explain to a group of kids why what they're doing is wrong and bad and shouldn't be done and have them actually understand it and internalize it and try to grow. That's a mature thing that mature people do. It's an adult thing that adult people do. Most kids don't get it. Some of them do, and they're fine. They just get drowned out by the ones that don't, you know? There are not a lot of things that strike fear in me, but that thing, K-pop stance, that thing scares me. No, I mean, you'll notice BTS fans have gotten less annoying. It's because they got older. And I was always actually a BTS fan. When they like started out, I remember they debuted and I was like, oh, this is cool. They're doing like a different style. They're all a little young though, but like they're doing cool shit. And then that was like before they got a lot of young fans. And then when they started getting popular in the US a little bit, I had to like take a step back and not like interact with content on the internet of them because it was just filled with young fans that couldn't control themselves. And I remember like BTS stans getting a bad rap online and I was like, well, I think they're all right though. I'm not like that though. But I knew like it was just because the audience was skewing younger now, and what can you do? You know, all the older fans were like, they felt pushed out. Yeah, you know, they were like, I'll just stay quiet over here in my corner, listen to some albums and chill, you know. But it was rough. Ooh, you said your friend got doxxed by some young BTS fans. Oh man, I understand. It's never right. Doxing someone is like never right because you're putting them in danger. But I understand if someone gets doxed because they did something horrible, I'm like, okay, these people are acting out of like real genuine anger over a real situation that like might actually affect them. But then when they dox someone over like, they're like, you said Jimin was ugly and I'm gonna dox you. I'm like, brother, this is a big leap. This is a big gap, you know, in severity here. Like, like you just didn't like a thing they said and then you're like, I'm gonna put you in danger. That's crazy. The difference is nuts. But yeah, that's like a skewing younger fandom kind of thing. They're gonna clip me saying Jimin's ugly, it's over. Actually, I remember when the group first came out and a bunch of people would say that about him. I remember like Korean fans on the internet being like, he could sing well, but I don't like his face. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? Be nice, you know? Be nice to him. He's talented. He's a singer. He's here to sing. Who cares? I remember that. And now people are like, he's an Adonis. He's the most beautiful person I've ever seen. The switch up was crazy. She said that 17 was more original than the recent songs from BTS and they doxed her. Okay, I agree with that though. BTS is in the pop zone and they do have some of their individual music that they do that's very creative in their own, but their group songs tend to be just made for radio and made for a pop scene. It's different from their early music and that's okay. They're making their money and then they're funding their solo projects that are more creative. 17, however, is doing a lot of really creative still to this day. So she was right in my opinion. I think she was right. They'll come for you. Whatever, I'm a VTuber. She was right. It doesn't mean that they're any better or worse. It's just whatever. That's the content direction they're going in, dude. I, as a streamer, any day could make some unique content, or I could be like, I'm just gonna watch viral clips for 10 hours. Doesn't make me better or worse. It's just what I chose to do that day, right? One would get me the bag. Okay, nothing wrong with that. That's what a lot of musicians do when people are like, I don't like them anymore. They're just making stuff for the masses. Well, yeah, because that's how you get paid, dog. That's how you grow, you know? Nothing wrong with that at all. It's the same with streaming. Like people will watch you play some obscure game, and then you'll build a fan base on that obscure game, and they're like, oh, you're so cool and different for playing this obscure game. And then you go play a new release, and they're like, you changed, you sell out. And I'm like, well, no one new's gonna show up unless they do that, you know. whatever, you know. People get kind of crazy. Yeah, don't grow, don't make money for doing your work, or I'm gonna be so mad. Grr. I mean, we all know, guys, we all know this. You're a VTuber and you're like, fuck, I want to make money. You get up real close to the mic, okay? You get up real close to it, and you start like talking about like the disgusting and making slurping noises, all right? And you will get paid. We all know this. It's just get in the bag. Nothing wrong with it. Okay? And if someone is doing their normal content and it's not really paying the bills, and they're like, fuck, I gotta pay rent, and they start doing that, they start making money, I'm not gonna be like, you changed, I hate you. I'm gonna be like, yep, I hope you buy that house, you know? The rent stew, don't mind me throwing ass on Maine. Yeah, like it's just, I mean, I wish everyone a very times is hard, please make your money, you know?